If you were to go to a movie studio where they were filming, you would see that even while something very dramatic is happening that's going to be on screen, so maybe a couple is making love, well, if you pulled back, you would notice that while that couple was making love, there were a bunch of people standing around with cameras and sound and lights and all sorts of other equipment. And if you went even further out, you'd see there was a whole crew setting up food and doing other things. And if you went around, you'd find props, and you'd see that there's this whole thing going on behind the scenes. And what we see on the screen is just a tiny, tiny bit. It's just like an end result of what's actually going on the movie set. In the 19th century, the Lumiere brothers presented one of the first examples of cinema. And it was a very simple shot of a train pulling into the station. So the camera was just there, and the train sort of came straight towards the camera. And people sat in the cinema, and they'd never seen a movie before. It's hard to imagine what it would be like to see a movie if you've never seen one before. But what happened is, as the train came into the station on the screen, half of the audience ran out of the cinema screaming in terror, because they didn't have any way of processing the difference between what was happening up on the screen and what was real. Well, the same thing is true in our experience of life. Because we aren't aware of the ordinary miracle of thought and how consciousness brings thought to life, we get fooled every time. And these projections of our mind, like those early movies to people who've never seen movies before, we experience them as though they're real, and we get terrified of the scary ones and excited about the exciting ones, and we fall in love with the beautiful ones. But the moment that we begin to understand how a movie works, our experience is forever changed.